Welcome everybody here to Watkins Glen International Raceway for yet another race here in the Keystone Corner Sportscar Championship here on WORC TV. My name is Braison Collins and thank you everyone for joining us today. Beautiful day here, one of the world's most famous racetracks, located in upstate New York. Many professional racing series go here. We have IMSA, NASCAR probably being the two most popular ones, I'd say, with the 6 hours of Watkins Glen being a very prevalent event here. Weather for today, it's just past noon p.m. Eastern time. Well, I guess that's 12 in the afternoon, but anyways, 85 degree track temp, or excuse me, 85 degree temperatures outside with a 120 degree track temp. Really hot track today. Going to be a little slick getting around some of these corners here. Partly cloudy skies, 10-mile-an-hour wind speed, no humidity in the air for today's race. Some track information here about Watkins Glen. We're running the boot configuration today. That means if you're a NASCAR fan, normally you see these guys when they go through the carousel, they make a right-hand turn coming out of that carousel. In fact, here they go straight, and then they have a couple extra corners added on for a little over 3 mile length track, 12 turns, an altitude of 1,574 feet, and as I said, located in Watkins, Glen, New York. Race info for today: we will be running 80 minutes here with between the three classes. Um, as we see these guys line up, we're gonna open the grid. We have some different car classes here, and remember, starting lineup does not dictate the multi-class, so I'm gonna try to keep you guys updated on what classes and what. But looks like Jordan Spoon got the pole in the LMP2 class here. John Cannizzaro to his outside. Then we're gonna have Brandon Sampson, Gino Merrill, Ryan Martin, and Jay Mulder. And then in the GTE class, Parker White and Cole Day, they had that class here. Jordan Smith, I believe he's also in the GTE class. And then we got David Sluter, Brian Zinn, Christopher Gargano, Mike Campbell, Sean Giroux. Those guys are part of the GT3 class. Everyone else that you're going to see here on this list did not qualify for this event. So, looks like we've got quite a few guys who didn't qualify for this one. As Jordan Spoon will lead us to the green flag there in that multicolored 13. Austin Edwards, the guy who is your points leader in the LMP2 class, not in attendance for today. Brian Kite, last week's winner in the GTE class, not here for this one. And then your GT3 leader, David Sluter, is here with a lot of competition behind him. Look at all those Lamborghinis. Looks like we got a couple Audis with them. Behind them here. Yeah, everyone's pretty much a Lamborghini or an Audi in this field. No Mercedes this week as we had one last week. As we got quite a few newcomers here. So back up to the GTE class. Looks like we got some guys trying to lay back a little bit, give some room. Should be a pretty fun one here today. Last week we had a photo finish in the GT3 class, and quite impressive how that one went out between Faster Esports teammates. So as I mentioned here, if you're an NASCAR fan, you're used to them making the right-hand corner where those cones are. Instead, as I said, they'll go straight, and we will go through the boot. And I mean, this as I said, this is one of America's greatest race courses, one of the world's greatest racetracks, in fact. Amazing facility, one of the premier places for people to come road racing. And it's all coming to fruition here in this moment. So, now, if you're a NASCAR fan, you should get used to this next corner coming up here. As you see here, they're making a left-hander, and they're right back onto where the NASCAR vehicles usually go. So it's just a little bit of a detour, I guess you could say, in preparation for today's event. As Cannizzaro and Spoon will lead these guys to green here in the GT3 class. Or, excuse me, the LMP2 class. Gosh, I am off the rocker today. Coming around the final corner, Pace Truck pulls in. And the green flag will wave. Here comes Cannizzaro and Spoon. These guys going to go side by side here. 3 wide in the back of the LMP2 class. The GT3Es come rounding the final corner. And Parker White's going to lead them early on here. And then way back in the boot are the GT3s. As these guys all get going here. David Sluter out to an early lead just as he usually is. As they'll come around the final corner here. And Sluter out to a monstrous lead here early on. Meanwhile, battle going into the bus stop here early on We have Spoon trailing Cannizzaro here with Brandon Sampson in P3 looking to throw his name into the ring here. Sampson last week had an issue with Mason Suit. A little bit of contact ended his race at Road America prematurely. Sampson having a good qualifying run here to start this one off. As through the boot they go. So far so good behind them here. We've got 3 GTEs. Not sure what happened to the rest. There's Provide, and Bob Schumacher's already off the racetrack here with an issue. Cannizzaro rounding his way out of the exit of the boot here. And despite Jordan getting pole, things are looking good for these JSR teammates of Sampson and Cannizzaro as they are first and third. And Cannizzaro's going to round the final corner, and he's going to lead it here on lap number 1. Coming through the final corner here, Parker White is going to lead Jordan Smith and Cole Day. In fact, Day got by for P2. Smith may have bounced off the barrier there, coming off the exit of the corner, but he's going to come home third there. Sluter, meanwhile, in a very stacked GT3 class. He leads these guys out of the boot. Makes the left-hander. And then now makes the final right-hander here to come out of the final corner. And David Sluter continues to lead GT3 laps here as he's going to lead lap number 1 here by quite a margin over several of these guys here. Brian Zinn, P2. He's in a different paint scheme. We did not see Brian last week, unfortunately, at Road America. He's been pretty stellar so far himself in the GT3 class, and he's shown it here back in P2. Christopher Gargano, P3. Mike Campbell, P4. With Sean Giroux. Looks like he's back here in 6th. Coyasolo last week had a chance to win at Road America. He is struggling early on here at Watkins Glen. As he rounds his way through the bus stop, he, man, I am not sure what's going on with that 87. He had a good run last week at Road America, as I said, and was part of that photo finish that was under a 10th between the leaders. And wow, I cannot believe that he's back here today. Looks like behind these guys, Nick Pena, he's lost the GT3 guys. Not sure if he pit started or what. And Schumacher's still on pit road. Henry Klappert did not take the grid. So, through the bus stop, Cannizzaro is going to really gap Jordan Spoon here. Spoon had an issue. Spoon spun on the exit of the bus stop early on. This is going to be a huge mistake for Spoon. He's getting passed by the entire LMP2 class, and Spoon has gone from pole position to last in class in just a matter of 5 minutes, really. Wow, what a costly mistake there by that 13. Man, John Cannizzaro makes a mistake. Your leader, Cannizzaro, is slow. He's gotten passed by his teammate, Brandon Sampson, and early on the front row having issues here. Not sure if John, he's back up to speed, it looks like. Not sure if he almost spun it or maybe had to catch a slide of some sort. Just saw him off the exit of the corner really slow. Perhaps he had a slowdown penalty maybe for cutting course, not sure. But that's 17 back up in 3rd now. And we have a new leader for the first time in the LMP2 class, and I believe for the first time in his WORC career. Brandon Sampson leads, and Cannizzaro's dipping it down into pit road. So early on, an issue with that 17 of Cannizzaro after he leads a couple of laps here, and Jordan Spoon is also on pit road after having an issue. So not sure if these guys made contact in the bus stop or what. Both of these guys, though, with penalties here, I believe, or just possible damage. And Man, well, Gino Mero up to second here in the LMP2 class. So if you aren't familiar with Gino Mero, he actually led a good portion of the laps a few weeks ago at Laguna Seca here in this LMP2 class. Shut himself up as a really strong competitor, and uh, man, being P2 here is really going to help him in the point standings. Cody Siegel, he joined us for the WORC Chili Bowl that was broadcasted back on K Bueno Racing Network. Cody doing himself a good job here, P3 in the LMP2 class. Glad to see him come run with us. Ryan Martin, P4. He's having himself a good day up here in the top 5 so far in this LMP2 class. Ryan was also missing last week. Glad to have him back in that 9 and what looks to be a new paint scheme for him and that Ryan Martin Racing team. So we're glad to have Ryan Martin up here. Latham Joyner, he's running 5th. As he winds his way around in the LMP2. He's actually quite close contact here with Jay Mulder and that Fry Designs Racing 51. As cars are already getting lapped, but not Parker White, as he's out to a 5-second lead over Cole Day, who's in a battle with Jordan Smith here for P2 in this GTE class. As coming out of the boot, looks like Day got a little loose, and Jordan Smith now is going to go to attack. Going to back up his entry a little bit into the corner and give Cole Day some room. As Day makes the right-hander off the final corner down the straightaway, and Parker White has disappeared. Parker White is not here. Something has happened in the 95 for the second week in a row, and he's gone. Cole Day is now your leader, and this is now a battle for the lead here. Oh man, these GTEs are already fragile early on, and Jordan Spoon has officially called it a day. So that sucks for Spoon. He was the early pole sitter in the LMP2 class, and speaking of LMP2s, here's John Cannizzaro. He's recovered. He's out of pit road, and John's gonna have to put down some quick times here. He's lucky it's early in this race still, as we're only about 9-10 minutes into this race so far. So, yes, John caught a little bit of a break on that one. David Sluter, meanwhile, he still leads the GT3 class. Brian Zinn is still in sight, though, as coming into the bus stop here, we see the gap between these guys is only about a second and a half. So it's up to see if Zinn can keep pace. There's Gargano. He's also keeping some pace as well. Giroux up to 4th. Hasselo to 5th. Storer to 6th. And there was an issue with Mike Campbell. He lost a lot of ground. He's way back here now. Not sure if he had a spin or what. And Dominic Provide is on pit road with Bob Schumacher. So once again, the GTE class, very fragile it seems like. Not sure if there's connection issues or what, but these guys really having issues here. So Zinn and Sluter down this long straightaway here in the boot. They make the right-hander, and then they'll make the left-hander to come back onto the familiar portion of the circuit, exiting the boot. As these GT3s try to keep it close here. Looks like we got a battle for 5th, and it's right in front of the P2 of Cody Siegel, as Hasselo and Brandon Storer in the 991. These guys going at it here. Storer got a little bit of a better exit coming off the boot. Not sure if that's because of the P2 coming around the lap. These guys are what? Oh, Hasselo gets loose. Hasselo's going to wobble. Hasselo's in the grass, and they're going to be side by side. He's going to succumb the P5 position here to Storer. And, man, that'll allow Storer to... He's blinking a little bit, but he gets into the top 5 here. And Ryan Martin flashes these GT3s as he's going to dive it into turn 1. He'll lap Hasselo cleanly. He's going to have to get around Storer here. And Latham Joyner trying to follow. He's going to blow by these guys in the S's here as he's trying to keep up with Ryan Martin for P4. Jay Mulder a little bit further back, and then there's John Cannizzaro. Issues early on exiting the bus stop for him. He's going to round the final corner, and he's definitely trying to put down some hot laps here as he knows he's got to work hard to get back up to the front. Brandon Sampson, meanwhile, almost all alone here as he's going through the front portion of the GT3 class. Hardship for one JSR car leads to, well, good times for another as Sampson in the 96 leads by about 3.5 seconds over Gino Mero. And Gino now, he's in a little bit of a battle with Cody Siegel here as he can still see Sampson up in front of him. But Siegel really winding down the laps here on these guys. And Zing kind of pinches Siegel off a little bit there, exiting the boot. And looks like Siegel's going to lose a little bit of ground to Mero there. And Mero probably thankful he's catching the lap cars at all the right times, as we saw Zin give Siegel some fits here, and Siegel may have to send it in on Sluter here into turn 1, and he does. So this is helping Gino pull away a little bit there. In fact, he gained 2/10 in that last corner alone. And Sampson exiting the bus stop, he's clean. Gino Mero, you wouldn't believe it, that gap between Mero and Sampson is 3.2 seconds right now. That is, I mean, that's how big this track is. You can see these guys exiting the corners. I mean, look, they're still in the same camera shot. Normally in NASCAR, you see a 3-second gap. You can't really see the second place car behind you, and that's pretty much almost any form of racing here, but road racing really oh, Cody Siegel's going to bend it off the exit of the corner. He's going to lightly tap the front end on the guardrail. And he's got to be careful here. Watch out. And Cody's going to lose a couple positions as he's got to try to get this one back going. That was a good run early on. A costly mistake, though. And Cody's going to lose a couple positions. I don't believe he'll have much damage from that. It was a very light tap to that inside guardrail. He just got loose, pushing it off exit of the corner here. And Siegel is quite quick, so he should be able to get some of those positions back quickly here. As that'll put Ryan Martin into a podium position here. Maybe not for long, though. He's in a good battle right now with Latham Joyner here. Latham flashes Ryan coming down the straightaway, and Latham's going to try to approximate how he's going to make the move here. And Latham sends it deep off into turn 1. He's trying to fight for this P3 position from Ryan Martin as they go really squirrely right there off exit. And Latham now, he's trying to take to the outside of Ryan Martin. Martin blocks the inside. And these guys battling it out side by side now going into the bus stop. Who's going to give? Latham's going to clear Martin going into the bus stop. What a move by Latham Joyner on the entry of the bus stop there to get by Martin. He had a really good first half of this racetrack here. And I think that's what ultimately helped Latham get by Ryan right there. Some strong battling, though, between these two. Ryan Martin gets him right back here. Looks like Ryan's got a setup that's a little bit better for the corners where you have to brake a little bit more. Latham just seems better on the more straightaway-ish, longer corners. The more high-speed corners, I guess I should say. As we see down the straightaway here, Ryan is going to try to draft off of Latham here. Looks like Latham is going to start to pull away, though, from Martin. Back in the GTEs, Cole Day still leads Jordan Smith. Not by too much, but just over 2.5 seconds here. And these two, kind of the only ones left on the track. Dominic Provite is back out there. Bob Schumacher is still on pit road, and Parker White has disappeared. So Dominic Provite actually running one of his first ever iRacing races today in this 07 Corvette. He got iRacing earlier this week at the direction of his cousin Joe Tardif, who was I believe he qualified 4th in the JP Designs Truck Series race at Bristol last weekend, and Tardif unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, but Provite and Tardif are cousins, and Tardif said, hey, get on iRacing, and I guess Provite went to his house, tried it out, was sold. So Provite got his own computer, his own account, and here he is, putting down laps at Watkins Glen. We're glad to have the So7 with us, and we hope to see him and his cousin in future races here. As good to have these guys with us. And Latham Joyner now, he has disappeared. Not sure if there was an issue with him or Ryan Martin, but he is gone. And not sure what caused that one, but Latham Joyner's gone, so Ryan Martin ends up P3 once again here in this LMP2 class. Cold Day leads coming off of turn 1 here in the GTEs. As looks like the two Porsches are the only ones really competing for the win here. The Corvettes didn't quite have that good of a run today, with Schumacher on pit road and Provite having issues early on. And no BMWs here today, as Harry Grindle unfortunately could not make it. Back towards the front, there's David Sluter and there's Brian Zinn. These two still relatively close to each other here, about 2 seconds between them. Gargano coming out of the boot, and then we got Giroux. Hasselo rounding out the top 5 with Storer 6th. Seth Warren is running 7th. Mike Campbell coming on to pit road. Campbell, Provite, and I believe Pena may even be coming on to pit road as well. As Pena is on pit road, Campbell is on pit road as well. So Warren is on track, and Provite is on pit road as well. So we have two GT3s and two GTEs here, I believe. And Mike Campbell looks to be calling it a day here. And looks like Provite may be calling it a day as well. Nick Pena is still on pit road. So looks like Seth Warren right now will take over the last GT3 on track, as Campbell has called it quits. Sluter gets lapped by Cannizzaro, who is actually reeled in Jay Mulder quite a bit. He was 34 seconds behind Jay at one point. He's down to just 20. So Cannizzaro really on rails right now in this JSR 17. Man, I wonder how long it's going to take Cannizzaro to catch Jay Mulder here for a top 5 spot. Cody Siegel, he is actually putting down some quick laps here. Remember, he had that little self-spin from 3rd. I believe he was battling with Gino Mero. Self-spun, lost a couple positions, and here he is, running Ryan Martin right back down here into the bus stop. As Martin is trying to gain some positions and points after missing Road America last week. Next week, these guys head to the Charlotte Roval. Hoping to see some great car count for that one. It's a free track, and a lot of people like that track. I'm personally not too big of a fan of the Charlotte Roval, but should be an exciting one. Wow, Cody Siegel has just binned it once again, and this time he has massive damage in that 171, and I believe he's going to have to call it quits. Heavy hit for Siegel right there, and that will probably end his night early, as Sampson's going to come around and lap him. And don't look now, but Gino Mero has gained a second on LMP2 leader Brandon Sampson here, as we're just about 20 minutes into this race with an hour left in this one. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to keep the race on for you here, but we're going to do a little crank it up session so you can hear these beautiful racing machines. We'll be right back here on WORC TV. Enjoy the noise. welcome back here to WORC TV. Hope you guys enjoyed that little crank it up session. We might do another one later in this one for you guys. Love the sounds of these sports cars here. While away, Gino Mero took the race lead away here from Brandon Sampson, as Sampson's setup does not seem to be built for the long run here. In fact, Sampson's going to dip it down pit road. A little early maybe to be pitting here, but we'll see how the strategy works out. Here's Ryan Martin, who's P3. Here in this LMP2 class, we'll see if he comes in pits here. The P2s have the smallest fuel tank in comparison to the GTEs and GT3s, so Martin will stay it out. Cannizzaro, who's moved his way back up in the 4th, albeit by Latham, Spoon, and Siegel leaving, but he did have to pass Jay Mulder on speed, so we'll give John an A for effort there, as he may have some extra fuel in that thing since he did have to come pit early on, so he may be able to stay out a couple extra laps, but John's strategy is going to be a little bit off compared to everyone else. Yeah, Sampson is still getting serviced on pit road. We have another GT3 on pit road. That is Christopher Gargano. Not sure what happened to Gargano, and Pena is still off the track as well, so Mero leads, Martin is second, and Ryan Martin coming up on a ton of lap traffic here. It'll be interesting to see how he navigates his way through this. Look at Martin here. He's going to have to send it on these GT3s here. It's pretty much always lapping. Good group of guys right here battling for position, being led by Sean Giroux here in this Lamborghini up in 3rd. Hasselo 4th, Storer 5th, and Seth Warren 6th. These guys all close quarters with each other right now. Interested to see how this plays out, as it looks like Giroux is pulling away. We'll see here if Storer can catch Hasselo here. He's going to have his draft through the S's. Through the bus stop, Storer is there. Man, I am interested to see here if the draft is really helping that Audi right now. Storer joined just before the race, and man, he was kind of saying, he's like, well, I don't really have a setup for today. I don't know if I want to race. And I was like, nah, just come race. So here he is. Storer is here, and he's part of a good little 3-car battle right here. About to be a 4-car battle, as these guys are reeling in Sean Giroux. It's almost like a pack racing, I guess. These guys all drafting together, catching up to Giroux. And Coy, you have to feel a little heartbroken for him. Last week at Road America, David Sluter had tons of damage that really held him up. Coy got by him, and in the last corner, coming around with 2 laps to go in the race, Coy spun it, choked away the race win, came oh so close to getting it back at the line, just couldn't quite seal the deal. Now Cole Day, that's your GTE leader right there in that Porsche 911. He's trying to come around and lap these guys and extend his lead on Jordan Smith. Cole, he's been an every week participant in the Makoni Setup Shop Pure Late Model Tour, and he's also ran a couple truck races so far this season. Glad to have Cole with us here in WORC. John Cannizzaro now, he's also trying to lap these guys. As oh, there's been an issue with Brandon Sampson. He pulled it off when he was on pit road. He's not here anymore. He has just left the session. And now Gino Mero is your leader solely here in the LMP2 class. So I guess it was not pit strategy after all. And Sampson unfortunately had to quit. Man, Gino, what a lead. He has 27.6 seconds on Ryan Martin. Ryan has to hope that Gino wrecks himself, I think. But I don't know if that's Ryan's biggest worry. 18 seconds behind him is John Cannizzaro, who is putting down blazing laps right now. John has been the fastest car on track since his spin. An angry driver is a fast driver. Apparently, John is proving his worth in that direction today. As man, a majority of this lobby has had disconnection of some sort. Brandon Sampson, Cody Siegel, Latham Joyner, Mike Campbell, Nick Pena, Dominic Purvite, Parker White, Jordan Spoon, Bob Schumacher, Henry Klappert, all not here anymore. The GT3 class holding in strong, but the LMPs and GTEs are really porous here today. As just 2 GTEs remain, it's Cole Day and Jordan Smith. 4 LMPs remain, and that's normally been our strongest class, so hopefully at the Roval things turn around. GT3s though looking pretty solid here. There are still 7 of these guys left. As Sluter continues to lead here over Brian Zinn. Hasselo in 3rd. There's sort of an issue, I believe, with Brandon Storer. He is behind Seth Warren, supposedly. There's Sean Giroux. He's right behind Hasselo. And okay, so there's Warren and Storer. They both pit. Interesting strategy call here by those two. Not sure how that one will work out, but I guess we'll find out as the race goes on. As we are about 30 minutes into this race now, so those guys should be able to make it to the end on fuel. As these GT3s can hold generally about an hour of fuel. That's about as long. That's about how long a stint is in one of these things. So we run about a stint and a half here in WORC, and it'll be interesting to see here if somebody tries to undercut David Sluter. He's had a knack every race so far. He pits earlier than the guy in second. The guy in second stays out for many laps longer than David does, and I mean it just normally doesn't seem to work out for whoever's in second. Man, what a lead by Sluter. Brian Zinn, he's keeping somewhat close. He's only 5 seconds back. But, man, that must be tough to be looking back like that. Gino Mero has extended his lead over Ryan Martin to 32.8 seconds. I don't know how, but Gino is certainly putting down some very quick laps right now. And what I'm wondering here is when are these LMP2s going to pit? As I mentioned, these guys have a very sort of smaller fuel tank, and right here, Gino Mero looks like he's actually about to lap his teammate Jay Mulder. That is Jay in front of him. These guys, they both drive for Fry Designs Racing, headed by Nick Pena. Jay had a great result in the JP Designs Truck Series race on Thursday Was running up towards the front. Late in the race, started P3, I believe with 15 laps to go restart. Jay sent it into turn 1 to try to clear Jake Mativier and ended up almost spinning himself. So things didn't quite work out for Jay there, but he's fighting through the attrition here, staying in this race in the LMP2, and it's going to pay off for him in points. Man, 34 seconds between Gino and Ryan. But John Cannizzaro back here in the 17, the guy I keep mentioning is on rails. He has gained about a second and a half on Ryan, and he's actually just closed another half a second through these first couple corners here. Man. Back to the GTE class here. Cole Day still putting down laps. He's got about 12.5 seconds over Jordan Smith. Back in the GT3 class, Sluter has gained about a second and a half on Brian Zinn as we see Zinn cross the start-finish line here. Sean Giroux is 39 seconds back. I got Well, Ryan Martin, currently the leader here. I know the leaderboard hasn't updated yet, but he leads over Cannizzaro as Gino Mero has it's good to see Ryan Martin lead laps. He prior to this in WORC history, he only had 3 laps led total in WORC. So Ryan leading laps here. This goes on the stat sheet and should look pretty good for that 9 as hopefully if he can somehow manage to pull out a win. I don't know if Gino may, I mean, there's a chance Gino can mess up, and I think Ryan's going to need another mess up from John, but he's actually steadily holding this gap over John right now. Um, he's doing pretty good at it. And there's Ryan Martin. He's in pit road. Cannizzaro, who pit early on after having an issue, takes over the LMP2 lead. So there's Martin, and there's Gino coming through last couple corners here. We're about halfway through this one here. As we've got probably about 40 minutes left in this race, so hopefully we see here what Gino does. Ryan is taking a long time on pit road. Not sure if he's filling that tank or what, but that also probably shows the giant gap that Gino had. Now if you're John, you really have to grind. Let's try to get position here. So John down pit road. All eyes now on the 71 here of Gino Mero, as we're gonna see what he can put together here. Samaro easily takes the lead back. There's Canizaro still in pit road. Ryan Martin is in the boot right now. In fact, he's actually just about to come out of the last corner for that, so we'll see here if John can. Oh, John's gonna get off of pit road quick, so not sure what happened to Ryan, if he had some sort of penalty he had to serve or what, but he is way behind these guys. He lost over 10 seconds to John pitting, and Ryan is gonna have to settle in for third, it looks like, as John is off pit road. 22 seconds between him and Gino. Johnny actually gained time there. Well, back to the GTEs. Battle still relatively close here, as Cole leads Jordan by about 8 seconds. In the GT3s, this time Sluter gets early pit by Zen, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes, as Brandon Storer has retired from the race here. Christopher Gargano is not on track yet, so it looks like we have also dwindled down in GT3 car count as well. So we'll see here if strategy works out for Brian Zinn, but for now, David Sluter looks to go 4 in a row to open the GT3 season here. Mero side by side with Seth Warren, his teammate. Obviously Warren in a different class, and boy, that probably wouldn't have been a very good team discussion if Seth had taken out Gino right there through the final corner. John has closed the gap, about a second and a half to Gino here. And they've kind of stalled out with each other, not really gaining, not really losing between the two. So back here to Brian Zinn. The GT3 class has really sorted themselves out, as the closest car to another car is Coy Asolo, who's about 7 seconds back of Sean Giroux. who's running in third right now. Giroux about to get lapped by David Sluter, who has put himself on another level. Sluter flashes the lights at Giroux, says, hey, can you get out of the way here? And I believe both of the GTEs have pit or they have just ended the race. Not sure what's going on with the GTEs, but man, I don't think anybody is going to get to Gino Mero today. So he puts another lap down on David Sluter. There's not a single battle on track. There is not many cars left on track, to be honest. 2/3 of the field has disconnected. That's how crazy this has been. Um, we're down to 4 in each class. And suddenly we have a battle here between Sean Giroux and Coy Haselo. As Haselo looks to find himself into the podium position here. I believe Giroux just pit. So it'll be interesting to see here how this brightly colored 87 is able to battle with Giroux. Haselo going to try to work the outside into the S's here. He's a lot faster. He's going to cross back over to the inside of Giroux. Just for a podium. Yeah, he's going to mess up the bus stop there. I'm not sure if he was just trying to give it to Giroux or what, but... So Haselo lost about 6/10 right there in the midst of this battle here for third. He's closed it back up another 2/10. He's down to 4/10 now as they go through 1 and 2. So Coy finally gets around Sean right there. Looks like Hasel is going to pull away now, and that's going to close up the only battle we've had on track, as this is just absolutely brutal at this point. Mero leads by about 20 seconds. Well, I wish I could say there was a battle on track for me to commentate, but there really isn't. I mean, Sean Giroux just got lapped by Gino Mero. There's not much else going on here. Hopefully next week at the Roval, a little bit shorter track, a lot more passing opportunities, a lot more racing opportunities, and it's a free track, so hopefully more cars show up and we can put on a show for you guys, man. These LMP2s normally put on a good one, but I already know next week I've got confirmation from guys like Josh Patterson. They weren't able to race this week. They're off next Sunday. They should be able to race. Christian Visconti in the GT3 class. He should be able to race. Hopefully we can get guys like Blake Kennedy and Ethan Workman back in the GT3s and Henry Klappert, Paul Granata. We can get some of these WORC guys back in here and get them together, put on a show. Looking back here, David Sluter has been caught about 30 seconds by Brian Zinn, I believe, due to the pit strategy here. I don't think Zinn's going to have enough, though, to close up much time to Sluter. Gino Mero, meanwhile, I don't think Cannizzaro's going to catch him. I think Gino is truly the fastest guy on the track right now. And Ryan Martin third, he's pretty much solidified it. He probably won't get lapped by Gino, but he's a lap ahead of Jay Mulder, who's struggled today. At least Jay's on the track, though, putting down laps, so it's good for Jay. Cannizzaro's gained another 2 seconds back to Gino Mero. Still not really anything else going on track, though. Nobody really near each other right now. Looks like Ryan Martin actually just got by David Sluter. Sluter just got by a lapped car of Sean Giroux. Giroux has fallen 13 seconds behind Quayaslo. He's probably going to get lapped by Sluter soon, so... About 15-ish minutes left in this race, and Gino's just got to put down laps. Hope everything comes to fruition for him, no mistakes, and if John makes a mistake, that'll easily put Gino in the lead for the future of this race. All in all, pretty congratulatory here to these guys who are still on track fighting this out. I know there's not much action going on, and congratulations to the people watching this too for fighting this out with me. I know not much is going on right now, but like I said, next week at the Roval, a little bit shorter track, probably more passing opportunities, probably a lot more action, and hopefully a lot more cars show up too, and we'll try to turn this series around. Not every league race is perfect. Not every league is perfect. Some leagues struggle with car count and such, and we're just glad that we were able to still pull double digits for today's race, and glad to have everyone along with us. I guess while we are going after it here, we might be able to take a look here at what happened to Brandon Sampson early on when he went down pit road. Here on a little WORC replay here. Let me see if I can find this, pull it up here. I'm trying to find it here. We're going to go back to it here. We're going to pull up the WORC replay and see if we can bring you guys a little bit of a replay of some of the action that happened early on. So here we are, Sampson. This was back when he was leading the race early on. I believe this was about lap 14-ish, so probably about 25-30 minutes into the race. Man, it's just been a rough day for JSR. Cannizzaro had the incident early on with Jordan Spoon, and Sampson had this issue up here. As in the bus stop, coming out of the bus stop, Sampson went to go by on the outside of the carousel into the boot. Oh my goodness. And that is what ended Brandon Sampson's night very early on. That's what caused his damage, and oh my. I believe that was Christopher Gargano who was referring to an issue he had with his computer. So that was a long time ago. Back to the future here of Gino Mero. that ticker up in the top left. I know it says 5 laps to go. It's because we don't have the timing ticker up here, but Gino has driven himself a phenomenal race. He's led a lot of laps here. Man, he's actually gapped Cannizzaro by about 4 seconds here in the past 10-15 minutes. As Cannizzaro is probably just pacing himself around, trying to finish second. And if I'm Ryan Martin right here, well, I'm trying to fight to finish on the lead lap. I've only got a few more laps to hold on to Gino, or hold off Gino, excuse me, so. Ryan actually gained a second there. He may be able to hold off Gino after all. Back to the GT3 class, well, this might help a little bit. Gino's coming around to lap David Sluter. Sluter, he's also driven himself yet another fantastic race. He's about a lap up to P3. On a second here. Gino Mero just came down to pit with just a few minutes left. There's some excitement going on here, folks. Oh my goodness! We just had a car blow up on pit road. I believe that was Christopher Gargano. His car just said no more living, and John has now taken the lead, and I'm not sure if John has to pit. Did Gino just lose this race? Well, John leads for now. We'll see if he has to come down and pit, but I bet Ryan Martin is very happy that Gino had to come pit because he can try not to get lapped now. Ryan had a really long pit stop when he came in from the lead, so. I'm hearing reports here that John Cannizzaro in the 17 is going to try to stretch it on fuel. Neither him nor Gino could make it to the end. That's why Gino came in and pit. So this could be interesting, a little interesting end. Something intriguing here in this LMP2 class. We gotta see if this 17 can make it on the end. Um, Make it to the end on fuel, and if he can, then, well, this is pretty funny because Gino has led pretty much this whole race, and he may have just choked it away on fuel strategy. John has to be saving a lot. Gino can push hard, and is Ryan Martin? Ryan Martin's down to 36 seconds, so I don't think Ryan has it in him, obviously, since Gino just pit for fuel, but Gino's closing the gap. He gained about a second, but there's not much time left in this race. There's John Laps Sluter here, who is pretty much sealed the win in the GT3 class. Nine seconds now between Gino and John here in this LMP2 class. We'll see if the fuel strategy pays off. As you heard John, he kind of stuttered on the throttle a little bit. And that ended the race actually, so ATVO neglected to tell me that was the white flag, so I guess John stretched it on fuel and he's gonna win it. Gino P2, Ryan P3, Jay P4, thanks to these guys for showing up. Oh my god, Sluter and Hasselo take each other out here to end the race. Two teammates. Zen gets second, the GT3, Shiro gets fourth. Um, well, I guess it's time for interviews, guys. So, if you need anything, well, we'll be right back, folks. We are going to go to a commercial break, and then we'll pull the LMP2 and GT3 winners in for post-race interviews if they're here. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere after this commercial break.
The field is rolling on the back straightaway.
Get ready. This is going to be tight. Out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen. The All-American 400 is underway.
Gotta be careful. The bumps here can get you every time. Entering the corner, exiting the corner.
Welcome back, everybody, here to WORC TV following the commercial break. We are going to be here with your race winner, John Cannizzaro, in the LMP2 class. John, you're in the WORC TV booth. You got a copy, bud.
Yes, I do have a copy.
Well, the first time you're here as a WORC winner. Congratulations on that one, John. Well, I gotta admit, this race did not have many exciting moments, for the most part early on. Uh, you and Jordan Spoon were battling. Jordan spun. Your teammate Samson took the lead after you had an issue, and I kind of missed what happened to you at the beginning. So can you run me through that?
A little bit of karma. Jordan spun, and I looked down at the relative to see what he was doing, and I drove in the grass in the boot, so caught the wall, had to drive down pit road, all of that stuff. So
Well, a solid recovery there. You were able to stretch it on fuel. Um, do you think that that early pit stop you had to do may have been a little bit of a blessing in disguise because you were able to stretch the fuel tank a little bit more and you were able to get more out of it to beat Gino in the end?
yeah, that was a miracle. I had maybe a lap or two extra than I think everybody else did, so that's sure one miracle I got out of iRacing today is I got to have a bigger fuel tank.
Yeah, for sure. We might have to check you in post-race inspection here. Well, John, congratulations on winning your first win of the season for all three, and I'm sure this one helps a lot. You've had a lot of close finishes in terms of quite a few P3 finishes this season in the Dirt Late Model Tour. You were up towards the front at the end of the JP Design Truck Series race at Michigan. You were even in the top five at one point at Chicago. You've had a lot of races. You've come really close. You finally get that win. Congratulations, John. Before I let you go, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
Father, he's behind me. He's enthusiastic right now. Uh, Johnson Sim Racing for giving me a team. I know he's happy right now. Finally got a win for the team, and a bunch of my friends.
Well, congratulations, man, on the win. Glad to have your dad supporting you behind you. I'm sure he'd love to see his boy win right there. Congratulations, John. We'll see you in the future, and hopefully this brings more wins for you.
I'll be back.
All right, guys, that was John Canizaro, your LMP winner, and now we're going to try to bring in the GT3 winner once again. He's been up here 4 times in a row. That is David Sluter. Um, David, you're in the Work TV booth. You had a copy, bud.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Well, once again, fourth week in a row, you're up here. I know the competition kind of slimmed down at the end again, but you didn't have to fight with your teammate Coy for this one. Um, Start to finish, relatively calm race. Um, Brian was keeping it close with you initially. Uh, what do you think you did a little bit better than Brian that helped you pull away and then eventually gap him by over 20 seconds?
I'm not sure. I think that track was very hot, so I don't know if he was struggling with it and maybe pushing a little bit too hard and sliding too much. I'm not 100% sure. Um, but other than that, probably just be consistent. I don't know how many off tracks he had or anything like that, but consistency was definitely a lot better for me this week than last week.
Yeah, for sure. No wrecked race car at the end of this one. I'm sure this finish was a lot less nerve-wracking, right?
Oh, that way less nerve-wracking.
Well, four in a row, David. Fantastic job you're doing in this GT3 class. It seems like no matter how many cars show up, whether we have two or whether we have 20, you're still the guy up front, and you're doing a great job here, cruising yourself towards the championship lead at this point. Before I let you go, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
Just my teammates at Faster Esports. Also want to give a thanks to Grid Finder. We partnered up with them over the past week, so it's pretty cool of them. And then also Makoni Setup Shop for always being a partner with us as well.
All right, man. Well, congratulations, David, on yet another win. And man, we'll see you around. Hopefully, you can go five in a row next week at the Charlotte Roval. We're hopefully going to have a lot of car count there for it being a free track, so we'll see if you can fend off everyone else with it. Congratulations, David,
Yep,
and we'll see you around.
yep. Thanks, man.
All right, guys, that was David Sluter, your GT winner, or GT3 winner, excuse me. And unfortunately, your GTE class is not here, so that will bring this to a close. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight to WORC TV. It's been fun broadcasting for you guys, and I know this race didn't quite have a lot of the action that you guys hoped for, but hopefully we'll get things turned around and everything will be looking good for us for the future. Tuesday night, the Makoni Setup Shop Dirt Late Model Tour heads to Lernerville. Lernerville, a fantastic track located in Pennsylvania. These guys have been probably the best show every week so far. Hope you guys tune in, and hopefully we have a ton of cars for that one. Hoping we can bring together a whole LCQ feature for that one. So make sure to tune in to Lernerville this Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday night, the JV Designs Truck Series. Those guys, they turn around and head to the Charlotte Oval as we have a little bit of a Charlotte week for the Truck Series and the Sports.